You know, to be honest, I really envy people who can digitally paint. Like, I don't know how some of these artists manage to make something that looks like so realistic, but still stylized. It's impressive. Obviously, I'm not expecting to reach that level of skill yet, but I want to spend the next week reading through James Gurney's Color and Light, as well as do some digital painting and just kind of like get started. And I normally like when things look less realistic, like more painterly, like Disco Elysium's art style. It looks like it's on like the edge of chaos, but somehow stays like pretty cohesive. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, subscribe if you hate me, and let's start. Okay, so I just wanted to figure out where I was starting with all this. I read the intro to Color and Light, which didn't teach any like technique stuff today, so that's why I decided to stay zero, because it's my video. Shut up. Naturally, I did an apple, because what do you start with other than fruit? I had like a teeny weeny amount of knowledge of how to work with like certain colors and stuff, like how to pick colors. Obviously not great understanding, but just very surface level. So before I started painting, I made a brush, though it did take like 5 tries because I'm stupid, but it's like a pseudo bristle brush. Though I do wish I did like a different paint texturing for it, because or made it more prominent, because I feel like it just doesn't feel like it's obviously a paintbrush, but it doesn't feel like textured the way I wish it was, I guess. I also made an orange. I also made a coconut. Maybe I should have done like a pineapple. Looking at it now, I do wish I blended it a little more. Okay, day 1, the official day 1. I read about the different sources of light and how light plays in different scenes, whether through a window or a lamp or something like that, right? I actually did a sketch here, unlike with my fruit, because a coffee mug and a plate at an angle is slightly more intricate than a circle. I still went with dramatic lighting just because I think with heavy shadow, it makes it really easy to shape the subject, I guess, of the painting. In the reference that I got, it felt like there was the tiniest hint of green in the shadow of the mug, so I decided to make it a lot more prominent, because that's kind of what exaggeration is, right? Artistic exaggeration is a thing, probably. I don't know. Sounds like it's supposed to be a thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I also think the light was yellow, so I made it more yellow, but I chose more of a blue, which maybe I shouldn't have done, but I chose more of a blue for the plate because it just the vibes. I don't know, because it's like cold compared to a cup of coffee, you know, it's like, it makes sense to me. Day 2. Turns out I'm an idiot. I'm all like, oh man, I should definitely paint the light source, you know, complicate things, because you know, I that's exactly what I need when I'm beginning. For whatever reason, my idea of complicating things was painting the reflection of a spoon. I mean, there's a lot of ambitious things I've done before, but this feels absurd. Anyways, I read about light and form. It's basically about how we can get a sense of the shape of something with the shadows we use. I got overwhelmed by a lot of terms because it like kept saying new words that I did not know. So I decided that this chapter will take 2 days worth of attention. But with the painting itself, I like the candle. So, you know, half of it. I think the brush actually made it look good. I don't know if it was the brush or if it was my, you know, genius, but it did make it look waxy in a way. Like it felt right. There's a fly in my room. It's so loud. It's like bashing its face against a wall somewhere. Anyways, it just looked good with the melty spots and how I shaded it and everything. I found the fly. It's right there. I wish I could throw something at it, but it's on my shelf, and I have things on my shelf. You know, the candle might be good, but the other half, the spoon is the problem. Not only did I decide, how about I do some spoony reflections? What does that mean? I just couldn't figure out the shape of a spoon, and that's difficult to say, because I could have gone into my kitchen and gotten one for reference, but why do that when I can try to guess what a spoon looks like? Today gave me trouble, but all the trouble was my fault, so it's not like real trouble. It's not like a learning thing. I learned not to do something stupid. I don't know, I should have done something else, like a fork. Day 3. So today I did finish the light informed chapter, but I don't think I have anything to say really. I guess I understand the different types of shadows a lot better, but what's there to say other than less light means more dark? For this one, I wanted to do some overcast, because I find it such a calming backdrop, and I think a gray sky is just, it makes whatever's in the foreground really stick out, really pop. Why'd I say it I said that like Patrick Bateman. I do wish I made the shadows at the contact point and the rope the occlusion shadows, as I've learned, and towel, or I guess it's a towel? I don't know, I never actually decided on what it is. I just wish I made it darker there. I held myself back before because overcast is supposed to make shadows like a little less shadowy, so I don't know, I wish I just did it a little darker. I also struggled with the tree line, which feels silly because it's so far in the back and it doesn't even matter, because I wasn't sure how to get the shape of a tree line without actually having to detail any tree at all, just like throw in maybe 2.5 colors max. I mean, it sounds lazy, but I didn't want to just do triangles either, so it was like, I don't know. I wish I did that a little differently. I also added some nice mountains or hills in the back, so that's cool. That's it. That's today. Day 4. Why did I do that? So I read about colors today. It was easier to understand than I expected. I mean, I've always been kind of scared of when me actually picking the colors matters, because I feel like I don't really understand it the way I probably should as an artist. Like, every time I do more than line art, I feel like I'm getting in over my head, but it normally turns out fine. It's just that I'm not really sure how to make things look good. It's all kind of gut feelings and instinct rather than like science says this or that and whatever. Obviously that's all just like experimentation and learning and all that dumb stuff. But when I was reading, I was actually able to understand most of it pretty easily. And I don't want to sound like super egotistical or anything, but I think I might have underestimated my own understanding of color, or overestimated the complexity of how color works. But I think I had a decent grasp on color longer than I thought I did. But the painting, well, you saw it. I wish I tried harder with the rocks. I wanted to do texturing without an actual texture brush, which is like, why would I do that? That wasn't my smartest move. But the top of the rocks also feels smoother than the sides because of how I shaded them, and I don't know, I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I think I messed up. Apart from that, I do like the background. There's not like detail or anything, but I think it looks not awful. Go me. Day 5. Remember when I did that spoon and I decided it was a little over ambitious? Well, this chapter in the book was about paint and pigments, and I wasn't sure how to apply that. So instead I decided, why don't I upgrade from just like 1 or 2 elements to more than that? I had a clear vision in the beginning. It was going to be using the blue light of the sky through the open window, I should say, with the greens and the browns inside, and I thought, man, this is genius. It's dark inside, but it's light outside, and it adds some nice... No, I did it wrong. And only now did I just realize what I did wrong, because before I was like, man, why doesn't it look like what I was imagining? And I literally just said it. It's because the outside and the inside feel like the same brightness. That's the problem. Oh my god. I'm upset by that. Oh man. I wish I could go and fix it, but it's too late. It's nighttime right now, so and then ignore how the angle is incorrect. And, you know, the idea of having a table at that angle, well, I don't know why I put in the floorboards, the light brown floor. Like, I don't know why I did that, because you wouldn't have a table that's just like crooked in the middle of a room. But if you just ignore that and look at the curtains, why do they feel like static? Why do they feel completely static? Why doesn't it feel like they're moving? Is it because it's so dramatic that it just doesn't look real? I mean, the curtains also look thick, so I guess, oh, maybe that's it. Because I made the curtains look thicker, they would blow differently in the wind, and I didn't think about that. Okay, guys, art's a little too much sometimes. Why doesn't it just give me a pass from time to time? Oh my god. I do like the green shadows I used on the woods, the different woods. I thought it was cool because like the room is green, so it would like reflect a little bit, I think. I don't know. It's not like actually reflective, it's just fitting in. Oh yeah, and the effect of the wine glass was actually a lot easier than I thought. Like I was worried about it at first because it's like, well, you gotta make something clear that also is there. I was worried, but it was just it was easy. It was just kind of like outline the glass and then it's see-through. And yeah, maybe it's harder when you're doing more detailed work. I don't know. You know, my failed vision, it's tragic, but I can always just like try again some other time, like when I actually know how to get exactly what I want and not be stupid about it. I wanted to try rendering metal, and since I'm making this video, I was like, all right, why not record it? That's it. At first, I was wanting to do just like a sandwich, right? Like a Scooby-Doo style sandwich. And then as soon as I started sketching out like all the different ingredients, I realized I do not want to make a sandwich. It's gonna be really annoying to paint. But without a sandwich, I was painting with no muse, and I saw her. It was beautiful. All her scales and fins, the Opa fish, my beloved. Yeah, I used to have this I have this hyperfixation on weird fish. The Opa fish being one of my favorites. Fun fact, the Opa fish, or moonfish, is the only known fully warm-blooded fish. Did you know that? It's pretty cool, I think. Anyways, the actual painting is pretty neat. I did struggle with the depth because the fish is like really narrow, but it raises a bit where the tail and the bone is, and I don't actually know fish anatomy, so I can't just say like, I just don't know fish anatomy. Under where the tail raises in the body, this part, where it does this, right? There's supposed to be a little bit of shadow, but I wasn't sure how to make it like less pronounced, but still obviously a shadow. Cause like I can make a shadow, but I only know how to make more intense shadows, dramatic shadows. Why do my allergies always pick up when I'm starting to record? I hate this. The colors were also really fun to work with, mixing the purple and the bluish green. It felt cool. I don't know why. It just felt like, man, this fish, the colors on this fish make sense because like the space in between the darker purple and the more vibrant bluish green is that silver sort of color. And I got that silverish color by mixing it, and I don't know, that just felt cool to me. I also feel like that texture that I was able to get on the bottom front of the fish is like good. Like the rest of the fish doesn't look like that, but the way I did it there, for whatever reason, that just looks better. Definitely my favorite so far, for sure. Day 7. So you might have noticed that I didn't actually say what I read yesterday because I did not read yesterday. Whoops. Yesterday's reading, which was today's reading, was about picking colors, pretty much. It's a bit more than that, but that's the simplest way to explain it. I don't have anything else to say about that other than that it made sense. Again, well, with the painting, I decided on tomato soup because, well, I don't know why, probably just like random inspiration out in the wild, but I thought it'd be fun to do a kind of strong backlighting. My vision was basically like, you know, those photos showing off stuff in kitchen. I almost had a stroke. Those photos showing stuff off in kitchens. There's always a window in the back for some reason, but the window is like always so bright. It's just like a full white thing. That is the lighting, and it's kind of what I ended up getting. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. I realized I didn't put a logo on the can. You know, it's on the other side. So yeah, wait. How is it pouring? There's no hand or anything pouring it. Oh my god. I didn't think about that. You know, there's like an invisible string. I kind of got everything first try. The shapes, the colors, I picked for everything. Except maybe like the shadows on the can. I think I changed that like once, but not enough to make it noticeable, I don't think. And honestly, on the topic of the can, I think it's really good, and I don't know why. Something about it's just really satisfying to look at, and I think it's the shape, I think it's the lighting, and oh, maybe that's why they do that in promotional stuff, because it's more satisfying to look at. I don't know how. I don't know if there's like a psychological thing for backlighting, so I'll look that up and answer it in editing. I just find this one nice. It's nice to look at. It's not like technically impressive or a good show of what I've learned over the week, but I like it. And you know what? That's all that matters. The end of the video is nigh. I also should say I didn't forget that this channel is about manga. I'm working on it, okay? I'm trying to choose an idea that I would be okay with committing to, and it's difficult, okay? So just be patient. Anyways, subscribe if you hate me, leave a like, and comment something about like fish, about weird fish. See you next time.